Alright, how's it going, everybody? This is your host, Arctic Ghost, and welcome to another episode or article into the edition of the Arctic Pauper Show. I know it's been a while. I was waiting for Drake to get banned because I knew it was going to happen before I came back to Pauper. Because as much as I loved Drake, and I did, I loved playing the deck, it made the format really stale. I don't really have to explain why. I'm sure all of you know why. I'm willing to admit that it was bad for the format in the end because just either people were just not preparing for it hard enough, or all the good players were just switching over to it, or people were just quitting Pauper, and that is just not a good thing. I can still say that even with Blue Red Drake, I still lost a good amount, probably because I suck, but that's not the point. So before we go into the deck that I'm doing today, um, I do have one little small announcement in case I have enough fans that actually give a crap. We are going to be experiencing something new on the Arctic Pauper Show. If you guys have noticed from my standard Pauper articles that I've written for the past month, I am going to be going to more of a text article type of thing. So, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to do a Decktech video along with uh, one match. Like I'm gonna do just like a two man, or I will prepare against one of my friends who I trust to be a good player when I don't feel like spewing value. And that's that. I like the way the articles I'm doing now because they're very quick, they're straight to the point, and it's better for my schedule because I don't need as much time to actually write the whole article and all that. And I think that just a straightforward, quick, here's the introduction. Here's why all the cards are in the deck. Here's some of the changes I would make going forward. Yada yada. After some testing, blah blah blah. I don't think if you guys would maybe like um, me to do text articles and for me to do videos separately, kind of like what Channel Fireball does. That'd be if that'd be okay with you guys, let me know. Um, I know over at Pure MTGO. And I don't see anybody do that except for Deluxicov, but Deluxicov puts so much work into his video series. That's kind of a different story. But just let me know, and I'll stop ranting, and let's get into the deck. So, the last time I think I did White Weenie, and this is White Weenie tokens or rally tokens, but it's also a Soul Sisters deck. So first up for the creatures, you have 8 Soul Wardens. Basically, you have 4 Souls Attendant, 4 Soul Warden. Uh, this card is just good because this deck wants to buy time to kind of play out all of its tokens and finally go into rally for the win. The reason why this deck is so good is because it's very good against every other aggro deck in the format while still having some game against control decks. Control decks are not the best matchup, but they're certainly not the worst, of course. This deck's real strengths are decks like Stompy, Affinity, when they're not getting, the incredible nut draw. Boggles, the mirror, things like that, of course. And then you have 2 Suture Priests as kind of just extra Soul Warrens, but also Suture Priest, of course, makes the other role in the fact that it drains their opponent when they resolve a creature. Also up in the 1 drop, you have Vacation Javelineer because now that Drake's gone, of course, a lot of decks are going to come back. Decks like you're going to see Delver again, all over the place. You're probably going to see Elves again, which is pretty cool, etc., etc., where Vacation Javelineers really shines. As far as the 2 drop goes, your 2 drop removal is Journey because it is the best removal spell for you. It removes all 4 toughness and up creatures, is where Sunlance does not. Gather Townsfolk, which is just 2 mana to make 2 dudes. In the event that you actually are able to do Fateful Hour, either something goes horribly wrong, you had a bad draw, or you're probably going to win the game next turn. So either way. And then, of course, 4 Raise the Alarm because it's instant speed, create 2 dudes, gain X amount of life and stuff. And then, of course, 4 Squadron Hawk because it is 8 mana for 4 dudes. Then your deck, draw to your better cards, of course, yada yada. And then your big token cards are Triplicate Spirits. It is not hard to cast this card at all whatsoever, so have fun with it. And Battle Screech, arguably one of the best cards that White Weenie gets in this format. For 4 mana and having only 1 creature untapped, you get to make 4 new creatures. and they fly, which is great. And then your big win condition is Rally the Peasants. That is also the reason that we splash red in this deck. Some versions like to splash Lightning Bolt. I don't. I just want to be straightforward to the point of play a bunch of tokens out and kill you. I think Lightning Bolt doesn't really do much. I think if you're going to kill your opponent, it's going to be going wide or killing your opponent in one turn with Rally. As far as the mana base goes, you have 13 planes, and then you have 5 red sources. Boros Garrison is just, I think, better because now it kind of accelerates you. You play 20 lands, so it allows you to keep like 3 land hands and whatnot and still be able to cast a bunch of spells. You could play Windscarred Crag to gain some life, but so far Boros Garrison has been fine for me. Also, if you have to play Secluded Glen early, you get to pick it back up with the Boros Garrison. Sorry, not Secluded Glen, Secluded Steppe. Secluded Steppe is also pretty good for the fact that you... I'm only playing a 58 card deck in that respect. You just hold on a sec. I went to check if I have older versions of Secluded Steppe. I don't. I don't feel like buying them at this moment. In the sideboard, it's kind of straightforward. You have Sunlands as extra removal. You have Lumen Third Field against Electrickery and whatnot. You have Standard Bearer against Boggles and Izzet Blitz and Infect and Stompy and all that crap. You have Suture Priest just in case you need another Soul's Attendant or just for the drain. You have your Affinity Hate, which is Dust to Dust, and then of course you have a couple Prismatic Strands. It's very possible that there should be 3 Prismatic Strands in the sideboard, but I kind of feel like I want the Suture Priest and 3 Sunlands. I think this doesn't get touched. I think this and this could become one more of this, but I'm not exactly sure. Testing off camera has been very decent. I have not done as many matches as I'd like. I pretty much am going 50-50. You know, so the deck is very good. In other spots, it's not great. It's the usual pauper, the usual pauper thing. So I will be right back, and I will be back for our how do I describe it? I guess just our test game with the deck, and we'll see how this deck plays. And we will be back in just a few moments. Stay tuned.